What is a pandemic? A pandemic is a worldwide spread of a new disease. In this current time, it's coronavirus. Coronavirus has been spreading all over the world, starting from Wuhan, China, to Asia, Europe, America, Africa, and the Middle East. Not one single country haven't been affected. The spread of the virus started from social media into the people's thoughts and hearts. Before the actual spread of the coronavirus, the virus was all over social media platforms. This is where the story was first created. Later on, it started to get real. Countries all over the world were announcing movement control orders. I remember when I started hearing countries going under lockdown, Malaysia was far away from that. I was telling my friends, my families, that we're not having any movement restrictions. Back then, I was still going to work, attending my classes, driving late at night. Everything was as normal as it could be. One day, I was sitting in the plaza, a place where everyone sits to enjoy the company of their friend and food. My friend came up on me and she said, "No more classes." Looked at her and told her, "Why?" And she told me, "Malaysia is under MCO, Movement Control Order." I couldn't believe it at first. A huge religious gathering in PJ took place. Something good turned to a complete lockdown. Why? What about my experience? I was very anxious, I was very stressed, and I wasn't feeling okay. The first 2 weeks passed and I was still not feeling okay. I couldn't get used to the situation. I couldn't get used to staying at home, and I couldn't even understand why this is all happening. After these 2 weeks and the extension of the MCO, I started feeling better. I created my own routine and I started to find myself again. But on other days, I would wake up crying because of all the pressure I've been through. For me, it's not just the virus, but my family. My family were locked down back in Syria, and I am locked here in Malaysia. I wished every second of the day if my mom was here with me. It was a difficult trial. When I got used to the situation, I started having all these questions in my mind. What will happen next? What will change? Will it just be a phase and people will forget it as soon as it ends? Will it be a transitional phase? Will people turn to themselves? Will there be social distancing from now on? Social distancing. Social distancing, also called physical distancing, means keeping space between yourself and other people outside of your home. To practice social or physical distancing, stay at least 6 feet from other people. Do not gather in groups. Stay out of crowded places and avoid mass gatherings. In addition to everyday steps to prevent COVID-19, keeping space between you and others is one of the best tools we have to avoid being exposed to the virus and slowing its spread locally and across the country and world. COVID-19 spreads mainly among people who are in close contact. For a prolonged period, spread happens when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks, and droplets from their mouth or nose are launched into the air and land in the mouth or nose of others nearby. The droplets can also be inhaled into the lungs. Recent studies indicate that people who are infected but do not have symptoms likely also play a role in the spread of COVID-19. It may be possible that a person can get COVID-19 by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it, and then touching their own mouth, nose, or eyes. However, this is not thought to be the main way the virus spreads. COVID-19 can live for hours or days on a surface, depending on factors such as sunlight, humidity, and the type of surface. Social distancing helps limit opportunity to come in contact with contaminated surfaces and infected people outside the home. Although the risk of severe illness may be different for everyone, anyone can get and spread COVID-19. Everyone has a role to play in slowing the spread and protecting themselves, their family, and their community. Tips for social distancing. 1. Follow guidance from authorities where you live. 2. If you need to shop for food or medicine at the grocery store or pharmacy, stay at least 6 feet away from others. Also consider other options. Use mail order for medications if possible. Consider a grocery delivery service. 2. Cover your mouth and nose with a cloth face when around others, including when you have to go out in public, for example, to the grocery store. Cloth face covering should not be placed on children under age 2, anyone who has trouble breathing or is unconscious, incapacitated, or otherwise unable to remove the mask without assistance. Keep at least 6 feet between yourself and others, even when you wear a face covering. 3. Avoid gatherings of any size outside your household, such as a friend's house, parks, restaurants, shops, or any other place. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Children should not have in-person play dates with school while school is out. 4. Work from home when possible. See additional information. Even though all these tips tells us to stay away from people and keep our distance, though you have to stay connected while you're staying away. It is very important to stay in touch with friends and family that don't live in your home. Call, video chat, or stay connected using social media. Everyone reacts differently to stressful situations, and having to socially distance yourself from someone you love can be difficult.